The weather has been good at Sebastian Inlet State Park, but fishing has been a little slow. In this report, I'll tell you which areas are best for catching sheepshead, black drum, redfish, and snook. The snook man, also known as Wayne Landry, reported that fishing suffered last week due to southeast winds blowing 15 to 25 miles per hour. And there's been 3 to 5 feet surf, which makes it challenging when casting lines. He said the water temperature has remained at 71 degrees, which is good news since it hasn't dropped. I visited the inlet on Wednesday and some anglers told me it's been slow. Historically, more adult snook will bite as the weather warms up. We need the water temperature to rise before we begin seeing them. Here are some areas where fish were biting during the past week. As a reminder, the North Jetty is currently closed until July, but you can fish west of the Sebastian Inlet Bridge. Sheepshead and some black drum are biting on live sand fleas and cut shrimp during the incoming tide near the rocky shoreline. At the South Jetty, the bite has been hit or miss. Small undersized snook are biting on live shrimp and small thumper jigs along the jetty rocks. The snook man reported seeing 1 slot-sized fish caught over the weekend. Black drum and sheepshead are also occasionally appearing on the south side of the inlet, biting on live shrimp and sand fleas as bait. The tip of the South Jetty has been crowded, but anglers are catching sheepshead, blue runners, small jacks, and some black drum during the outgoing tide. The T-dock remains closed for the duration of the dredging project, but the shoreline area around it is open for fishing. However, there hasn't been much activity. The snook man said there has been some undersized snook and redfish biting during the incoming tide in this area. There hasn't been much surf fishing. I spoke to 2 people today who said the seas have just been too rough and that nothing is biting along the beach. Here's your fishing forecast. Expect highs in the upper 70s to the low 80s through the weekend. Windy all week with gusts as high as 25 miles per hour. A 40% chance of rain on Monday. Expect high tides in the morning hours and evenings, low tides in the overnight and afternoon hours. I'm Andy Hodges, and there's your Sebastian Inlet Fishing Report. Subscribe to the channel for more updates. Have a great week.